Hello, good evening and welcome to the program. This is Daily Politics on Trust TV. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. Tonight, we turn the spotlight on the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as it wrapped up its 99th National Executive Committee meeting, pushing ahead with plans for its August National Convention, despite stiff resistance from the Wike camp and many others within the party. Now, the party has ratified zoning and convention committees, but questions continue to linger over its ability to discipline dissenting voices as defections continue to rock its ranks. So what does this quagmire mean for the future of the PDP, especially in the context of 2027 politics? Professor Kamal Bello is a professor of political science. He's joined us tonight to help us dimension this issue and, of course, provide some context as to what this means for Nigeria's political growth and development. Prof, good evening and thank you so much for joining us on the program tonight.
It's my pleasure.
Let's start this way. What is your verdict about how the PDP is going about fixing what appears to be a self-inflicted injury? Is it serious about fixing this problem?
The issue of seriousness of PDP is not without antecedents. Because opposition party in Nigeria is not a tea party. Even to start from 1999, when PDP was in control at the federal level, we knew what the PDP did to the opposition. Initially, the southwestern states, 6 of them, by 2003, you will see that the PDP either undercut or uppercut, they took over all those states, minus Lagos. So being an opposition is not a tea party, that's my submission. No matter how tactical PDP could be, since they are in opposition, and this opposition is not starting yesterday. They have started since 2015 when Buhari came in under APC, after 16 years of rule. So it's a what do I call it?
It's an unraveling of the party, you think?
No, what I'm trying to say is that it is the nature of politics of underdevelopment to make sure that they strangle the opposition. It has been like that. Because in the balance, in the discussion of politics in Nigeria, politics is not for a lily liver. It's like a game of football. If you're not having enough strength, you can't play game of football. Because somebody will attack you, will even elbow you. So, and that's how it is in politics of the developing.
For the neutrals, and even for some people within the PDP, right? Your Bode George, your Sule Lamido, for instance, the people who are talking tough, it's almost as if the party lacks the spine, the integrity to face its problems, to look into the mirror and say, this is what we need to do to fix this problem. And for once, you know, give Nigerians a sense that if they're looking for an alternative, they can look for that alternative in the PDP. Do you think that that's what's happening? Looking at the body language, I mean, they just completed the 99th NEC meeting of the party, right? And it looks like they're kicking the can down the road.
What I'm saying in essence is that being an opposition in Nigeria is not a tea party. No matter the tactics you have, the ruling party will always neutralize. It's historical. Even from the First Republic, when MPC was in control, AG, we know what happened to AG, Action Group at that time, of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. The party was divided with his chief Akintola. At the end of the day, they accused Awolowo of treasonable felony. And before you find it, he's in jail already. Until Gowon came and took him out of the prison. Opposition in a developing democracy like ours is not a tea party.
You're saying this is just history repeating itself.
It is.
There's nothing unique about what's happening with the PDP.
It is. It is. And I said an example of even the Fourth Republic, 1999, when PDP was in control. How did they treat opposition? The AD then, the strong AD, by 2003 election, they make sure that all the AD control states were taken, except Lagos. So it's not new. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the nature of politics in underdeveloped economy.
Is this, for lack of a better word, karma for the PDP, looking at its 16 years of political rule in Nigeria? Is this karma?
It could be. It could be. But to me, as a political scientist and a student of politics, the Nigerian politics and the underdeveloped politics, the opposition has to be strong and strong before they can be able to make ends meet.
Right. And in your diagnosis of what is happening with the PDP right now, I mean, there are several layers to this conversation, whether it's about the leadership, uncertainty about who actually is the national secretary of the PDP, or the discussion about zoning, which has become central to the issue around who is going to become the flag bearer or where the flag bearer of the party is supposed to come ahead of 2027. What, in your view, is holding the PDP back from having these tough conversations that can possibly allow them to settle?
If you look at it from another angle, you will see that what is the difference ideologically between PDP, APC, LP, and NPP? No difference. Somebody can be PDP today, by tomorrow he will change to APC. APC tomorrow will become NNPP next tomorrow. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that even lack of clear-cut ideology may not be able to make PDP to be cohesive enough and serve as a good opposition. Because they have been in government for 16 good years, from 1999 up to 2015, and we know how they performed. So it will be difficult for them to mobilize the masses for any cause in terms of opposition.
You think Nigerians are quite disenchanted, irrespective of what they think of the APC performance, that PDP is not looking like an alternative?
Definitely. Definitely. Because PDP have been there for 16 good years. And then APC came in. APC came in 2015. This is their 10-year running now. And then I believe there's, you know, what gave APC advantage was that progressive mantra, and people key into it. And then the merger they did from the different parties gave them advantage. But now we have seen APC, we have seen PDP. Then it's like you're talking of military. People have seen how military performed. It's not that people are now comparing. That what is the difference between military and the civilian. But at the time, people are tired of the military. For military to come back on time, it will take time because, so the same thing PDP. People have not forgotten their regime between that 1999 up to 2015. And they look at it that, what is the difference? Because most of the people in APC today were former PDP. Those of them that are in PDP, some of them are in Labour Party now. So it is easier for Nigerians not to see how people are decamping, even in the National Assembly. Because there's no any clear-cut difference between these political parties.
As you know, Prof, in politics there's always a room for some sort of political comeback. Do you think, like the opposition, for instance, like the major ones, like the PDP, for instance, can rebrand itself, repackage its message, the rhetoric, and probably take advantage of the economic downturn in the country to sell Nigerians something that looks like a viable alternative? Do you think all of that is possible? I mean, they do have the legacy to do that. I'm
sorry to say, in 2023 campaign, you ask Atiku, the flag bearer of PDP, about subsidy. He said, I will remove it. Ask Peter Obi, the Labour Party flag bearer, I will remove subsidy. Ask Tinubu, the APC flag bearer, I will remove it. So what is the difference? And that's the nerve of our economy. And all of them has no any other ideology other than removal of subsidy. So there's no clear-cut ideology between this. Coming back, agreed, is how it could happen. PDP can come back. But it's a serious work they need to do. Particularly, in 2023, I didn't mean PDP tried to feature a certain presidential candidate. Because that psyche of many Nigerians, of tribalism, of religion, is so strong. Whereby Buhari finished 8 years, the expectation is that it will go to the south, despite the fact it's not written, but has entered the psyche of Nigerians. I didn't mean PDP use the strategy and feature a certain candidate. They will have even won. Don't you see the gap between Atiku and Tinubu? It's narrow. Because PDP vote is in Labour Party, PDP vote is in NPP. I didn't mean they pull them together. It's like giving them victory.
So, in talking about what looks like a possible solution for the PDP going forward, one of the key issues of contention is the idea of zoning, something that I alluded to in the question I posed earlier. Do you think they are willing to have that conversation about, say, for instance, ruling out the probability that a northern candidate could get the ticket of the party in 2027? Do you think that they're ready to have that conversation?
It's not going to be easy for them, because Atiku and El-Rufai, they came out that they want to go for coalition. And the main PDP governors...
I mean, El-Rufai is not in PDP.
I said that's we are talking of how to, maybe a PDP will be able to maneuver. Atiku, as a PDP man, initially, was proposing that let there be a coalition with other parties so that they can be able to win the election come 2027. But the governors of PDP met and said that they are not going anywhere. Do you understand the conversation? They said they are not going anywhere. This meeting of PDP caucus, Atiku did not go. So even if they want to bring a flag bearer from the north, Atiku is prominent. And it's as if it's not going to with them again.
And do you understand some of the reasoning behind the PDP stakeholders, whether it's the governors or the Senate caucus, boycotting or distancing themselves with these talks of coalition? Do you think it makes sense, what they are saying against the idea of a coalition?
As I've said, even in 2023, PDP will have chance. It will have chance. I didn't mean their vote is not divided between the PDP, Labour Party, and NNPP. If they put the vote together, they will have won. Clear. But now they are coming again. That even the PDP itself is looking as if it's in this area. Wike is a prominent member of a PDP. He said it's not coming out of PDP and is working for APC. He did it in 2023. And no any disciplinary action is taken for anti-party. And it's coming out plainly. Say, I'm a member of PDP, but I will work against my party. The
likes of the former Jigawa State Governor, Sule Lamido, who is one of the key members of the PDP and one of the prominent voices, right? Someone whom a lot of people would say is a legacy member of the PDP, never defected in spite of all of the journeys that the PDP had experienced, saying that, listen, he's not going to take any sort of engagement serious if the Wike issue is not sorted out, because this indiscipline cannot be ignored. At least those were his opinions about it. Do you think that that is also something that the PDP has to consider, that if it doesn't solve the Wike problem, for instance, or quagmire, however you want to categorize it, it cannot move forward?
He has spoken well. But if you look at the statement of Sule Lamido in the last 2 years, it's as if it's no more a progressive. One, he said it's positive somehow that Nigeria cannot divide because the elites in the north, south, west, central will not allow it to happen. Later, he was talking that nobody can defeat Tinubu. He has the statement he made. That Tinubu is a strategist, is this, is that, and so on and so forth. Until it's now coming back again as a strong progressive. And that's the problem we have with Nigerians. It's like President Obasanjo, with due respect, is in PDP. He won the election for 8 years under PDP. In the last 2023 election, he was working for Peter Obi. He came out plainly. In 2019 election, he came out too, that is not support of Atiku as a candidate of PDP. So those are the issues. It is easier said than done. And the consistency or inconsistency of our political leaders will not make us to take them seriously. Because they talk one thing today, after some 2-3 months, they say a different thing entirely. And that's the problem the PDP is facing. Even, I don't know what it takes them. If Wike is doing anti-party, what does it take them to say? Either you are suspended or you are expelled. But they are the one that knew what they are doing by keeping him. Because he showed them plainly that it's not working for them.
All right. So let's hear from the horse's mouth. The acting national chairman of the PDP, Ambassador Damagun, speaking in the aftermath of that 48-hour meeting that culminated into what looks like a green light for the forthcoming convention this August. Let's have a listen to the resolutions reached by the PDP NEC.
Today is a great day for this party. We've had time to postpone this NEC due to so many reasons. Even now, there are issues that ought to have, culminated into moving the NEC forward, but we said this NEC should hold no matter how. And I want to use this opportunity to thank our leaders, the governors, the caucus, for fashioning out a way for us to have this NEC so that other contending issues will also be discussed, and also will send another, we'll have at the end of the day another date that will soon convene another NEC again. From now to the convention, we are thinking we should have like 3 NECs or 4. This will sort out most of our contentious issues within this party. I want to also reiterate that the beauty of PDP is that it has always had internal, mechanism to surmount whatever obstacle anybody, even if he's an alien, whom we know, to solve its problem. And this is what of it. People are outside there waiting for this opportunity to see whether we are able to surmount all these problems that are self-inflicted and somehow engineered from some quarters. But with the help of God, we'll continue to overcome. They will put obstacles and we will surmount it until when we show them the way out.
Right, that's the acting national chairman of the PDP, Ambassador Ilyasu Damagun, speaking there, I mean, metaphorically, literally about what is actually happening. How much of that is about substance, how much of that is about rhetoric, in the hopes that the PDP can come together. But we've seen the literal disintegration of the party. I mean, these meetings have been losing a lot of weight in terms of the personalities that have been attending them over the past couple of months. Prof, some would say the PDP leadership is glossing over what looks like an existential crisis in the PDP. I mean, the party chairman there is speaking quite positively, as if almost to say that, you know, they're getting ahead of the problem. But there was no big announcement other than the fact that this convention is going to go ahead. Do you think the PDP leadership is being honest about how critical the situation is?
When you talk about PDP leadership, or any leadership at all, there are always interest groups backing them, either supporting them or against them. And that is why leadership is a very tough thing. What you are seeing publicly is not what is happening underneath. Because even the acting chairman himself, at a time they called him out, that is not to be there, it's occupying the seat illegally. So, and similar thing is even happening in APC. You know, the position of chairman of APC is zoned to the North Central, which Abdul Adam was occupying. Before you know it, there was misunderstanding and it was removed. Before you know it, it now went to the North West, which is Ganduje. So the same thing is happening here now. And that was why some people even left PDP in terms of zoning. Zoning is not a new thing in Nigeria. It has started a long time in our politics, even in the Second Republic. I read the book of Chief, what is he called? Obasanjo. It's Not My Will, when he was handing over in 1979. And he said, PDP has a zoning formula that made it to win the election, which UPN does not have, MPN did. So the same thing is happening to this, what is it called now, PDP. From 2019, people have been shouting. 2023, the same thing. That the chairman of the party will not come from this zone. You know, initially it was Yosha Hayu that was the chairman of PDP, until issues came and they said, okay, you should relieve so that the thing will go to the south so that Atiku can have the ticket. At the end of the day, it's not possible. The chairman is from the north, PDP now, Damagum. Then the president candidate want to come from the north. You know, the zoning is not properly done. So that is area the PDP need to look into. That if you want a comeback, there are certain strategies you have to adapt. And that is the zoning formula. Who will be the chairman? Which zone will it come from? Who will be the Senate president? Who will be this? Who will be that?
In the context of 2027, just before we wrap things up, yes. Prof, what do you envision is going to likely happen? I mean, there seems to be this body language that, you know, every man is standing guard trying to protect his interests, and you begin to question what is actually the interest of the PDP and who is protecting that interest. What do you foresee happening right now going forward if things persist this way, going into the convention in August?
What I will say about PDP, since the PDP is on the table, if the PDP want to make a comeback truly, it has to put its house in order. And this orderliness of putting the house, since the PDP cannot make it in 2023 election, it cannot make it alone in 2027, unless that's what you call merger with other political parties, which they are not ready to do. They are throwing the kite of Atiku and Obi ticket. But Obi is telling you that it's not going to match with anybody.
And you think his presence at the last political meeting by northern stakeholders is not suggestive that he's open-minded about working with the likes of Atiku?
What I will advise, if it is the concept rings bell, northern political. So the issue has become north versus south. They should find a name that will cover all Nigeria.
I mean,
so that it can be attractive.
You have some prominent southern figures, especially from the south and the southeast. The likes of Rotimi
I said
and
the caption
will be right.
The caption of saying northern political interests has given a kind of dent in the political thinking of Nigeria calculation. If they want to meet next, they should remove that northern political interest and make it Nigeria political interest. Despite the fact that people like Obi came there, because if somebody is invited for a meeting, you go there. You listen to what they will say. But the commitment is that, like former Governor El Rufai, when he left APC, he said he was going to SDP. The SDP people said no, they don't want anybody to hijack their party. At that time, everybody thought El Rufai would pull other people to that SDP. Now we are hearing that it's going to ADC again. And ADC too is talking that no, there are certain things, certain groups they will not allow to enter. Even those of them moving from PDP to APC, the APC pillar are also grudging that all these people, they come now, they will take over. Like this deputy governor in Edo State, Philip Shaibu. He was in PDP up to 2023 election. Then he moved to APC. And the appointment at the federal level, he got a slot. So everybody is being conscious of the position they are holding now, the status quo.
Right.
They don't want to leave it.
Okay.
So for the PDP to come back, as I was trying to say, they need to do more work and strategize.
Right. All right. The next couple of months would definitely be interesting, to say the least, as some of these parties continue to align and realign their positions so that they can get the most out of the political mileage that's still there up for grabs ahead of 2027. Prof, thank you so much for joining the conversation. I appreciate you for joining us this evening. Thank you so much for the analysis.
It's my pleasure.